Okay, so writing every day. It's not easy. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's never going to seem like it's easy. But I do have a few proven strategies that I use that help me to write every single day when I'm working on a project. Now this helps me complete projects much faster than other authors. Well, that and the fact I write smaller. I suppose my stories are a lot smaller. So the number one thing I do is I set a schedule every day when I'm going to write, and I stick to it. For me at the moment, it's 5 p.m. But that's just because I'm a university student and I can do it at that time. Except it's subject to variation. But if you work, say you're a night writer, or however the term is used for someone who works full time but also writes, you could very easily make it 8, start writing at 8 every single day, late in the evening, or 1 in the morning, depending on what your energy is like at certain times of day. And then I set a time scale for how long I should be writing. For me, it's anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour and a half. This means that on some days, when I really am not feeling it, I can write for only 45 minutes per day, just get it out, and then move on. And it still means that I contributed something to the overall project that I can later on edit and rewrite and make a lot better in the future. Or it could work the other opposite way. Sometimes when I start writing, I really get into it. And that's where the hour and a half part comes in. So I write for over an hour, non-stop, without a break, without even stopping to take a breath, in some instances, just typing. And it could be longer than that, an hour and a half in some instances where I don't look and it's been 2.5 hours. It really doesn't matter. But the point is that I have a time scale. I have a minimum time scale. That's the important part. The maximum time scale is a lot less important. It's still useful to have to make it so that you don't overexert yourself. Like, say, people that write to the extent Stephen King does. Like, he does it for over 6 hours a day. But that's because he can. Because he's a full-time writer. If you work full-time at the same time, or you're doing a degree at the same time, or you're at school at the same time, it's not as easy for you to be able to do that. So setting a maximum time is very useful for you in terms of making it so that you don't overexert yourself and tire yourself out, and make you hate writing, so you never want to do it again. Now the other things I do to make myself want to write is, in terms of writing every day, it doesn't have to be typing. It could just be planning the story, like writing it down. I, for one, use this notebook. This has my story plans in it, and I can add to it at any point, and I can include this in the time that I spend writing. So I could plan for 10 minutes, write for 35, for example. Or I could do or even if I'm just going to be writing, this is useful. I'm not going to go too much into detail about why you should plan your stories yet, because that's going to be a different indie opinion. But it's very useful to refer back to that while I'm in the writing process if you get stuck or if you're having a rut. Like, a lot of people talk about getting writer's block. I don't so much have an issue with writer's block. At least not anymore. I used to have it quite bad. But since I've been writing every day, the same time every day, or the same time-ish, it can vary. Some days, when I don't finish until 5, I don't write until 7. I write 7 till 8, for example. But it's very useful to refer back to these things, and to just writing every day can become very easy if you let it become easy. But another thing about this is you don't actually have to write every day. I know there are a lot of websites, blog posts, bloggers who say that you should, and they do make some valid points in some instances. I mean, sometimes writing every day can be very useful because it gets the job done much faster, but at the same time, I don't feel like you should feel pressured to write every day. I have felt pressured to write every day before, and it's not a great feeling. The feeling of needing to do that, even when you really, really, really can't or don't want to. I've had instances where I've been like out the day before and have been very drunk and come back at like 2 in the morning and written, that wasn't a good idea. I should definitely not have done that, but I did it anyway because of the pressure of writing every day. And this is not good in any sense. You shouldn't feel guilted into writing every day. You should do it because you want to. But if you're very busy on that day, for example, you don't finish work until very late and you feel very tired, just don't. Pick up the slack on another day. Write for double the amount you said you would over the weekend or something. You don't have to feel like you should write absolutely every single day for the exact time specification set, because otherwise you just won't. You'll lose motivation. You won't do any of the stuff you set out to do, and you'll feel like there's no point to writing in to begin with. So that's just my opinion on writing every day. Thanks for listening, and write on.